Hi everybody, and welcome along to this video where we're going to try and make another one of these. Similar, it'll be very similar, but there may be some differences if I've run out of lace or whatever it is. This is Shabby Chic, I think you would agree, and it is the cover for our tags that we make every week. We've only made one so far, well I have, and that was for the prompt green. So this was my green, and what I have done is made the cover just slightly larger than the tag. So here's the other tag that I made, and here's the cover I've cut out. So it's an eighth of an inch, hope you can see that, larger all the way around, apart from this bit. This bit measures 3/4 of an inch, and it does also on here. But after that, everything is an eighth of an inch larger. So it's larger in length, eighth of an inch all the way around, but it is the same width as this. This part here is the same as this. So that's 3/4 of an inch. So there we have it. It's going to hold all our tags. Yay! I have a nice place to put them. I mean, I will eventually put a back on it as well. I haven't so far with this one. I've just done this. I haven't even done the inside of the front cover yet, because we've got time, plenty time. I just wanted to do this, and I wanted to do it to protect the tags inside, and now I've made an even fancier cover that probably needs protecting as well, but never mind. That's what we made it for. So I hope you like it, and here we go. I probably will have to refer to this quite regularly because I can't actually remember everything that I did. I have a very short space here. So the first thing to do is cover this hinge up here, because I want that to go sort of underneath the tag. So if that measures 3/4 of an inch, and I need 3/4 of an inch on here as well, that's 1.5 inches, but I'm just going to make it just a little bit bigger than 1.5 inches, just to give us some fiddle factor. So I'll make it 2 inches. So I'm just going to cut my strip of A4 to 2 inches like that, and this measures down here 7 1/4. So I'm just going to cut this off at 7 1/4. Let's move that out of the way. 7 1/4. So that should be something like what we want. There we are. So let's get that stuck down first. That's the dull, boring bit, really, isn't it? But it's got to be done. You don't want the grey board to stick out. And, you know, we in this country use grey board. That's what we call this very sturdy stuff, cardboard stuff. I think in the States you call it chipboard. Whatever you call it, it's just a thick board. And if you don't have it, you can make it by chopping up a cereal box or cat food box, whatever you've got, and layering one on top of the other until you get a fairly sturdy cardboard type thing. Right, so I want this to go over there like that and down to the bottom. I've cut it a little bit long, but that's all right, doesn't matter, we can trim that. Trim it up later. And it doesn't even matter if it's straight, because we'll just trim it afterwards. So I'm using art glitter. I did, when I made the other one, use Collall, but it kind of didn't set in time, and it was art glitter, I think, is the way forward, because it's so grabby. It's grabby. And sad to say, I'm running out of it. Oh no. There we go. So I'm just going to take this and fold it over onto there. press it over and then press that down. Get your bone folder, make that edge nice and flat, turn it over, make that edge nice and flat, and then what I generally do is I hold it up like that and just take my bone folder down there, and you just get a nice crease. Nice smart crease. Right, we're all right at the top. We've just got a little bit at the bottom that needs trimming off. There we go, that's lovely. So I'm going to ink that now before I put anything else on it. So let's get my inky board out. Let's make sure that's nice and crisp. And I'm just going to use the vintage photo, which is what I used on this part of the tag, and it looked quite nice, so I'm going to do it again. So just in from the edge. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I want to leave a strip down here that's quite bright. It shows everything off a little bit better. Like that, and then to the side. Just like that, that's fine. That's lovely actually, I like that. Right, so we've got our base prepared. Whew, time to take my cardi off. Things are getting warm. Right, so we've got the base, as I say, that's all done and dusted. So what I did, I took a piece of paper, ordinary paper, this is like copier paper actually, and I just printed a very light background. This one I think came from the journal boat, but any background that you like actually, but I quite like this because it's very, very neutral. You can't actually really see it. It's so neutral, but that's what I wanted. It is there. It is evident, but so I don't really want that flower, and I want. Let's measure how much I want. Well, it's 4 1/4 plus 1/4, so it's 4 1/2. 4 1/2, is that right? Let's just check this out. No, that's not right, because there's no, it's 4 1/8. Glory, going bonkers. I cut my tags out to 4 1/4. So yeah, it's going to be 4 3/8. 4 3/8, that's definitely right, isn't it? Let's get this right before we start. Didn't have this problem when I was doing the... See, that looks like 4 1/2 to me. Four and a half? Huh? No, it's 4 3/8. It definitely is. Definitely is 4 3/8. Right, so I'm going to cut that out of here, and then I'm going to offer it up just to make sure I'm right. 4 3/8, which is the 4 1/4 that we had for the tags, plus the extra 8 that goes all the way around it. So it does make perfect sense that it would be 4 3/8. I don't know why I'm doubting it. I don't know why. Let's have a look and see. That goes on there. Yeah, that's perfect. So it's 4 3/8 that you need to cut your background paper to. Excellent. So I'm just going to lay this onto here. Well, I don't have to actually. I can just do this and cut my lugs off. So make sure you've got it squared up. Let's does not want to come to the edge, and I don't know why. And bang it on the table, that usually works. Excellent. Yeah, right. So let's cut these off. And this one here. I have something on my scissors, I think, is what the big problem is. They're stuck, the sticky scissors. Right, let's offer this up and see what it's got to say. I think that says it's pretty near perfect. So, what I'm going to do is ink around there, and actually I don't think that you see any of it, but just to be sure, it doesn't matter about the back of it because it's getting stuck down. So I'm just going to take my brush and just make a little border around the outside here. You don't need much at all. And I'm pressing down over the border so it's getting the edge, the very edge done as well. There might be a little bit that you see, so it's worth doing. It's definitely worth doing. Right, lovely. So that's us finished with the ink as far as I can remember. Excuse me. Right, the next thing to do is to choose your sticker if you're in the fortunate position as I am to have stickers. Karen Cooper very kindly sent me a whole bunch of them, so I've got loads to choose from. Now then, I've got that which I quite like. I think I'd need to cut that off, but it's very neutral, isn't it? It's really in keeping with what we're doing. I also have a leaf, which I quite like, and I also have this one, which I quite like as well. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I really like that, but it's going to have a lot of stuff. I think I'm going to just go with the neutral one. I know. Slightly disappointing. But yeah, I think I'm just going to put that there. And I am going to cut this bit off because it's sort of wandering over into that territory. So I'll just trim that out. That's not to say I wouldn't use that for something else at another time because it's really pretty. Right, so let's get that stuck on there. Fairly central. So about there, I think. About there. Let's go for that. Right, so what you need to do with these washi stickers, any stickers or washi tape or whatever, is really burnish them down. And when you do, you'll see that they melt into the background. They become really transparent. You can still read all the script that was on there and everything, so you can hardly see that it's a sticker. It just melts into the background. Lovely, there we are. So that we've kind of made the base, as easy as that. Now then, the next thing that I did was I took, which lace did I take? This one. And I put it kind of down both sides really. You'll see you don't need it down to the bottom of here, but I did use, and I'm going to come up further with it this time than I did on the last one. So I want it, I have to go to one more. Looks to me like it's flowers and a little bee. It's really pretty lace. No idea where I got it from, unfortunately, so I can't go back and get more. Sometimes Mr. F gets me things from charity shops, as you know. So it may well have been one of Mr. F's purchases. Yeah, I think that's I don't really need it down as far as that, because there's other lace that goes there. So let's move it up to there. I don't really want to cut that B in half, but there may be no option. If I have all of that B, it comes down to there. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's cut this off. Cutting these little bits of thread off as you go. And there's some on the other side, so just tidy that up. Right, so I'm going to put that from there to there, I think. Or I could move it up just a bit. Yeah, okay. Either which way, any way up, it needs to be Fabri-tacked. And yeah, Fabri-tack is not my favourite thing in the world, but sometimes you just have to use it. Sometimes it is the best thing for the job. So I'm just going to put it down there. It did for my nails yesterday. My nails were looking all right, not too bad. And then the Fabri-tack came, just ruined them. So I'm just sort of putting it on the thicker bits of the embroidery of the lace. A little bit on the ends there, right. Way. Okay, let's get this stuck on then. So I want the edge of the pom-poms, or the edge of your lace I should say, because it's unlikely that you'd have the same lace as me, but the edge right up to the edge of the card. And I'm just going to get my Timmy towel out, because Fabri-tack does dry clear, but it dries shiny and I can't bear it. So I'm just going to dab this all the way down and try and pick up any loose bits of glue that there are, so it's not shining through when we've finished, for I am not keen of that look. Right, that's that. Great. We've just got a little bit excess here in this top bit, so I'm just going to trim that off. Lovely, that's fine. And then I'm going to put some on the other side as well. So yeah, I do really want that quite high up. I'm just going to stick this piece on in its entirety, because really I can't see what point saving one little bit is to me, so let's just stick it on. Actually, I must say the Fabri-tack's kind of behaving itself today, so I shouldn't be too down on it. And it does do this job very well. You know, the job it was intended for, sticking fabric down. It does do it really rather well. There we go. So we get that stuck onto the other side, and we're making a start. So I'll just get that where I want it, maybe up a little bit to there, I think. Get the edge on the edge, stick it down. Yeah, that's lovely. Lovely, jubbly. You can get your Timmy towel out again, do the same thing. Press it down, so you're applying a bit of pressure to help the sticking process, and you're also picking up any of the stuff, the glue, the Fabri-tack that's oozed out. Save it looking shiny. Shiny. There we go. Lovely. So already it's different from the one that I made yesterday, but that's fine. Just got a little bit here that we can trim off. There we go. Ooh, something's unraveling. Maybe my brain. Right, so the next thing that I want to do is, well, on this one I used some of this, which is like tatting actually. It's more like tatting than lace. But I've looked at a different one for today. I've found this one, and it's a more sort of beige colour, but I like it, so I thought I would use it just to keep my two things different, really, so I know which one's which. And I'm going to stick that down there over the lace, but my lace has got this little pom-pom border on it, and I'm going to stick it just inside there because I want to leave room for my flat back pearls. Of course I do. What is complete without flat back pearls? So back to the Fabri-Tac again, and you don't need masses, to be honest. It is only thin lace, but you do want it to stick. So there we are. It's ages since I've done any shabby chicness. I do enjoy it, I can't tell a lie. It's I love to see it. I love shabby chic things. I'd love a home that's all shabby chic. It would be gorgeous, wouldn't it? All frothy and fluffy and nice. Right, I'm just going to get my Timmy towel out again. I just found I can get more pressure on it when I use the Timmy towel. There we go. Whoops. So that's stuck down, so let's just trim the top off that. Let's just keep it tidy as we go. Lovely. I'm just going to pop an additional bit of Fabri-Tac just on that edge there, just to keep that down. Lovely. Fabri-Tac lid stuck to my fingers, never mind. Okay, so already it's different, it's darker, and I like it actually. You know, obviously use what you have, as Timmy would say. You do you. I'm just messing around with what I've got and see what I can make, really. I did venture into the back bedroom yesterday. I was expecting the floor to fall down at any stage and me to arrive in the living room via the ceiling. Because Mr. F has told me, because I'm not, you know, sylph-like, I'm not built like a ballet dancer. Mr. F had sort of warned me not to go in there. He thought that it was probably at its maximum load bearing potential. But I wanted to have a look at the lace, and I wanted to look for my flat back pearls and stuff. So yeah, I ventured in, and you know, I'm still here, and so is the ceiling. But I really did just take 2 steps in, and so trepidatious. Honestly, I was petrified. But you know, I can ask Mr. F to get me lots of things, and he knows what I mean. But I just needed a look. I needed a look to see what laces I had, etc, etc. So I could choose. There we go. Now this lace has been crumpled up, so I think I'm just going to have to put a little bit of glue in various spots along it, just to help it to stick down. That's lovely. Do I need to do the same with this? Maybe it would just be better if I did. So basically what we're doing is we're just building layers up bit by bit. Nothing dramatic, nothing that you can't handle. You definitely can handle this if you do it in bite-sized pieces. That's what I would say. Same with anything. Don't get daunted by the whole overall thing. Just bite-sized pieces. Right, so now I'm up to the flat back pearl place. So where did I put them? That's a good question. So it was all organised, I'd cut everything. No. So I've got this big bag of flat back pearls. I also have another one, but we won't talk about that. When I was doing loads of Shabby Chic, honestly, I used to get through these. Ooh, definitely like they're going out of fashion. This is all falling off the reel, so it's a bit awkward to actually... Let's just... I think I might have to create a new end, which I've done so many times with this. It must just be full of ends, but I can never find them, so... Scissors. Ah, there's the bit that I cut. But I don't think it'll be long enough now because I've made alterations as we've gone. Right, let's cut that there. See how much I need. I need about that much for that side and for this side. I need, yeah, let's just cut that off there. Lovely, and let's get these out of the way because they've got a bit of a mind of their own, to be honest. Right, there we go, that's them done. Lovely. So let's stick these on. Now the problem I've got is the thing that I use to stick flat back pearls on is called E6000, and I've had mine a long time, and when it first comes out the nozzle now, it's green. Which I obviously don't want, so I'm going to get rid of the first bit. I need to order some new stuff really, I guess. But let's just... Oh no, we're clear today. It's obviously resolved its issue, or maybe it's because I used it yesterday. I don't know. So just down there, in between that lace that we've just put on and the pom-poms on the edge, but you'll know yours better. You know, you'll know where your gap is, that you can nicely fit some flat back pearls in. I'm thinking of at this moment of Judy Hoff because she is a flat back pearl lover. So hi Judy, I hope you're enjoying this. So let's start there. Just place them down and go down and press them firmly down. Just like that. There we go. And I'm just going to trim off those excess couple of ones at the bottom there. That's it. So firmly press them down. And already this is looking so much better. Well, obviously it's looking better than a piece of blank paper, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't think I want to start, oh, well, I'll start it right at the bottom. What harm can come? As I say, we can do this one slightly differently to yesterday's. You have to allow a fair bit of glue because it soaks into the lace. And then you come to stick your pearls on, and there's no glue left, it's all gone. So let's do these ones. Same thing, get it going at the end, then put down an inch and a half. Press it down another inch and a half or so. I mean, this is rough measurements, and then just keep going like that. Stuck myself to them right to the top to there. Lovely. It's just not quite straight there. Not that it matters, you know what I mean, it's fine. And let's just trim off those excess ones at the top. There we go. So I'm pressing them down into position. Right, that's that. That's lovely. It just looks lovely like that, actually. Right, so the next thing to do is we're going to put some pearl roses on here, and then I'm going to pause you and I'm going to leave it to dry a little bit, because these do take a while to dry. This is what they come like. They come like this. I got mine from BB Crafts if you're in the States. Even if you're in this country, the postage isn't too bad. And they're lovely. It's a whole roll of them, so I don't need to feel skimpy with them. I can be, well, I can just use them as I wish. So we're going to put these onto here. And that's kind of the start. Well, the flat back pearls and these really sort of sound out shabby chic. So there, I'm not going to put one on there because I have different plans for that. And similarly, I'm not going to put one on the top because I have different plans for that. But I shall put one there and here. Right, so that's 5 altogether. That's good. Looks nice. Right, I'm going back to the E6000, and these ones have got a slight rim around the back, and then the inside is set down, so it means you can get quite a bit of glue in there actually. So I'm going to pretty much fill that recess with glue and then drop it into position. Press it down. And same with all of them. If you've got gems or anything that you want to use instead of the pearl roses, that would look nice too. I did actually yesterday try and colour these pearl roses, but I've got so few alcohol inks that I couldn't find one. I tried the red, because yesterday's flower in the middle was red, but it was a bit garish. It's a bit garish for Shabby Chic, so I didn't go ahead and do that. I'm just using them in their natural state. Yeah, you see that they will stick eventually. Just they need time to dry. And if you've got clips or a weight or something that you can put on top of them, so much the better. It'll assist in the sticking journey. Right, so that's my pearl roses on. Let's just get this lid on here. So I am just going to walk away from that for a while, let those dry, and then I'll be right back and we'll carry on with our Shabby Chic cover. So see you in a minute. Okay, so I think that they're stuck down enough for what we need to, because there's another bit here that comes, and then I need to leave that to dry. It's a pretty long process, but not for you. All the drying bits are done very quickly for you. So this is a piece of lace, as you can see, and it came from a much larger piece, a really thick piece of lace, and I've trimmed it off along there. Make your supplies work for you. That's what I say. So it's just got some fluffy bits on the top here. I'm just going to cut them off hopefully the whole thing won't just fall apart. Yeah, if ever you're in charity shops or, you know, akin to those in the States, always check out the clothing, because sometimes it has fabulous lace on, you know, cuffs or collars or whatever that you can use, and it doesn't matter if there's not very much of it, you know. You can always just use little elements of it. And always, sometimes they have drawers of stuff and it just says sewing on it, and it can be anything. It can be sewing needles, sewing thread, or sometimes if you're really lucky you'll get something like this. So what I'm going to do is put this sort of on this corner here, but I'm going to gather it up a little bit, kind of like this. Got a really stiff bit there, but I think we can work around it. Yeah, like that, and then another one going to there. Now this is, let's just check how much that fell off the edge. Not so much. Maybe I need to move it up a little bit to about there. I think there is good. So I'm going to make a start with my Fabri-Tac. And I seem to remember from doing this yesterday, this is a messy bit, but you know, it's got to be done. Right, so I've got some Fabri-Tac on that bit there, and I'm just going to stick it there. That's my start. So then I want to pleat that, as it were, so I need some Fabri-Tac on the top and also on the bottom. This is a messy job, isn't it? So fold that over and stick it down there. Now it isn't going to stick instantly. This is the problem. So be patient if you can be. So I'm going to carry on moving along. With glue underneath to stick it to the journaling card or cover or whatever. And a bit of glue on the top to stick the fold down. You could sew this if you wanted to, and yesterday I was thinking, oh, I really should have sewn this, it would have been much better. So I'm just going to bring that up a little bit to there, and then I want one more fold there, so I need to cut this off. So I'm going to follow around the little motif around there, like that. So that's kind of sticking, it's kind of doing its job, and then that is just going to be just a little tuck into there. So let's get the glue out again. Your hands are going to be absolutely covered in glue at the end of this, just saying. So like me, if you can't stand it, get a wet wipe on standby, or just quickly run to the sink and wash your hands. It's as much as I can bear as this, to be honest with you. It's horrible. And that's going to go there. Right, so now I need a bit of weight on it, but you want something that's not going to stick to this. And actually I found I recently bought some new blocks, and they come covered with sort of plastic front and back. This was the block, and it had that stuck to it to protect it, I guess, you know, until you wanted to use it. And I found that this does not stick to anything, so it's really good to stuck to my hand, to put over there and then put some weight on it. So weight, what am I going to use for weight? Got glue. That's quite heavy. Put that on, maybe. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that there. Excuse me, it looks a bit undignified, doesn't it? But I'm just going to leave that there just till that firms up a little bit. Then we'll come back and we'll move on with it. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so let's take a look and see if that's stuck, or stuck sufficiently anyway. Let's see. Move these off. Yeah, I think that's all right. I think it's fine for us to carry on working now, so we'll be fine. Now then, the next thing that goes in this bottom corner, as you can see, is this gorgeous bow. And the bow, it's the bow that makes it for me. I absolutely love it. It's so shabby. It's just beautiful. So let's have a go at making the bow. Now then, I was fortunate enough to find some silk. Just some silk scraps they were, really. This was one of them. And you can see it's kind of, I don't know, I think somebody's dyed this at home or something, because it's not all one uniform shade, which actually, I love that even more. So I'm going to cut off a piece, or try and tear a piece that's a similar width to that, which is about 1 inch. Let's say it's 1 inch. Might even make it a little bit wider this time. Make it about there. And I'm just going to snip into it and see if it'll rip for me. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm just taking my time because I don't want it to curl up. There we go. So I can put my gorgeous scrap, my remnant of beautiful silk, back in the drawer. And then I'm just going to take off some of the obvious threads. I don't mind there being some threads on it. I quite like that, actually, to be honest. But some are going to fall off and they're going to get on my wick. So this is a selvage at this end, so I'm going to trim that off as well. Don't know if I can tear that. No, I'll cut that off. And just see if there's any other threads hanging around. And get rid of them. I think that's fine. That looks fine. Now this you can save if you want to, not the selvage, but the threads, and use in your project if you want to. I'm not. Right, so to make this bow, I'm sure everybody knows how to do it, but I did not. I sort of taught myself yesterday because I'm rubbish at making bows, particularly when they're free like this, you know, when they haven't gone round something or whatever. So I'm taking some of my very thin cord, whatever it is, twine I think probably. And what I'm going to do is make my own bow. Now what I did, and I'm sure there's other ways of doing this, I got one end sticking out there, then I folded this over to about there, and then this bit carries on. Now on this side it's 1 1¾ inches, so I kind of want the same here, so that's 1 3/4, so that's to about there. Does that look like it's going to be right? Might want the tail slightly longer actually, so I'm going to make that tail 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches, and I'm going to bring this over to there. So this bent up bit here is 1, 2, oh, I've lost count. 1, 2, 3.5 inches, and that goes back over there. And what did I say this was? 1, 2.5. So I'm going to measure 2.5 for this tail. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So cut that off. Not exactly at 2.5 because you want them to be a little bit different. So I've still got this remnant here, but that's a good remnant. Don't throw it away. Right, then I took my twine, and it's probably at this stage you're laughing at me thinking, what is she doing? There's better ways of doing this, but I don't know them. 1, 2, 3.5, that middle bit measures. So half of that is 1 3/4, so that's about there. So I'm going to put my twine there, pass it under like that, and just move it so I've got it exactly where I want it. Is that right? Oh no, I need to further along this way to there, I think. That's 1 3/4. Yeah, okay. And then what I did was I just tied my twine. So that is exactly what I did, nothing more fancy than that. So I tied it like that, and I put a double knot in it, and I'm hoping this is going to work, like so. And then I turned it over to the back or the front. I've no idea which way up it's going to end up being, depending on which looks the best, really. And I'm just going to put a double knot in that and cut the ends off, and that's it. There we go, and cut those ends off. I don't know whether you could make a bow with the ends and it would look nice or not. It's very possible, but that's it for me. Right, so this started off being the front, so what I'm going to do is just hold on to this lug and just pull this down. And you have to be a bit persuasive with it, but it does eventually come down. And this, I hold on to the lug and pull that down. And there you have it. It ends up looking like a bow, which is quite remarkable, I think. Let's just see if we can get that down a little bit more, like that. There we have it. I mean, it's a bow. It is a bow. And that's going to go there over the edge of all of this. So it's going to sit there. And I just put a little dot of glue on these just to keep them from being quite so wayward. And I might leave them that length, actually. Quite like them that as long as that. So let's get some glue on this. Just looking to see if I like that side better, but I don't think I do, so we're all right. So just where you've knotted that twine, stick quite a dollop, and then a little bit on each luggy bit. Not much, because it's silk, it'll come through if you put too much on. So that's going to go there, like that. This is going to come out the way, and that's going to stick there. And this is going to come out the way, and that's going to stick there. Lovely. Might just have to hold it for a second and persuade it. Right, and then what I did with my art glitter glue, because I thought the Fabri-Tac was just a bit too much for it. So I've got my art glitter glue out, and I just put a little drop onto the lace beneath. Just, you know, not too much. And just sort of crumpled that up and put it onto the lace where the glue is, like that. And this one similarly, so maybe up here, I think. There we have it. So there's our bow. Yay! I don't know if I'll leave the ends that long. I possibly won't. But for the moment, you know, I'll leave it like that. Right, so the next bit, let's have a look and see what the next bit is. The next bit really is, you see, I put this here. Well, I'm not going to do that because I've got that rose there and I'm quite happy with that. But the next bit is the top bit. and I just put, it might have been a different sort of lace, it could have been this actually. This was another little remnant that I had. It's not so thick. That's the other silk remnant that I had. It's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it. Oh, yeah, I could put that. There. Oh, I don't know if I've got any. I've got that. That could go in the centre very nicely, and maybe a couple of these coming around the edge. Let's have a go. Let's have a look and see. So I'm just going to trim these out from the next one around. Where am I going? I think it's there. So I've got quite a few long tails here, so just trim those off. Yeah, that looks alright. So that could go there very nicely. Yeah, like that. It's nice. So I want another one to go on the other side. So it doesn't take that long to come together. There's a bit of waiting around for stuff to dry and what have you, but it doesn't take forever. The worst thing I think yesterday was deciding, you know, the usual auditioning stuff. That's what takes me all my time. And this one. Now then, I've got that one the wrong way up. It needs to go like that, I think. And this one, I'm going to have problems with. I think I'm probably going to have to trim that leaf off there. So let's just trim that off. Just, as I say, make what you've got work for you. You're bound to have things in your stash that would kind of work. So just make them work. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. So let's, yeah, we've got a little flower here either side. Yeah, okay. Let's glue those down. I can hear somebody scampering around upstairs, and there's only one person it can be, and that is Catkin. So I don't quite know what he's up to. He sounds to me like he's got into the back bedroom, which is absolutely full of all my crafting stuff that doesn't fit down here. So he could be getting into all sorts of trouble. Once I get this finished, I'll go and look and see what he's... I'm convinced he's making a journal, so he's probably he's probably looking out stuff that he needs for his journal. So I'm going to pop that onto there like that. Lovely, that's fine. And just get my Timmy towel out and I'll just stick those on good and proper, bit of pressure. And then I want this flower that came out, it's same lace actually, and I'm going to pop that in the middle there. I quite like those because they're at different angles, they don't look like the same piece, which I like. Lovely. Like so, a bit of pressure. And then I want something that's a different colour, because it's all a bit same up there. So I am going to use this. Now this I found in a charity shop, and it's actually a curtain tie back. Still got the loops on it, so it goes round like that and you holds your curtain back. But I have a much better use for it. I think it's better to be used like this. So I'm going to cut one of the flowers out. It's a bit near the thing. Around the lace here. And I'm going to leave the long dangly bits. They're too long for our purposes, but I want some of them, so I'm going to leave them in place for the moment. This is fabulous stuff. There we go. So that is going to go on top of there like that. Yeah, that's the right side. So it's a slightly different colour, and it's adding just a little bit of something different onto the top there. So let's glue that on before we consider the length of the dangly bits. There we go. Right in the middle, like that, and a good bit of pressure on that, because it's one lot of lace over another lot of lace sticking onto a piece of card. There we go. Right, so now then, how long do we want these? Well, that is a good question. I think I want this one quite long. I think I want it down to about there, so I'm going to cut that off there. Like that. And then this, perhaps there. And this here. So that's these. I think they look quite nice actually. Yeah, I like them. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue just on the ends of them. Let's bring that out a little bit to there. Same with this one. Bring that out a bit to there. And this one just straight down. There we go. There we go. And that, I think, is pretty much it. The only thing that I did add to the other one was one of the resin roses just at the top. I'm just going to cut it off and have a look and see if I do want it or not. Yeah, I think it needs it just to balance out this big bow at the bottom. So I'm going to put E6000 on that. I'm going to weight it down and leave it to dry a bit, and then I'll come back and we'll stick it onto the thing, put the rings in it, see what's what. So pop that right there in the middle. Lovely. Put the lid on my glue before I do anything else. And where's that bit of stuff? Here it is. Just going to pop that over there and find something to balance on there. No, it doesn't want to balance. No, that does not want to balance. Oh, what have I got that I could use? I think that would be fine. It's a bit of weight anyway. So, we're nearly at the end. Doesn't this look spectacular? I love it. I might have to trim a little bit off the ends, but I'm leaving it for just now. So I'll see you in a minute when that's dry. Right, well, welcome back. This is dry, as it has every right to be, seeing as I actually had my lunch in the pause. Very nice it was too. Mr. F is a fabulous cook, and it wasn't broccoli. Anyway, I think we're pretty much finished with that. I don't think it needs anything more. I did toy with the idea of putting a rose there, but I think we're in danger of overdoing the roses if we keep going. I think that's lovely, so I'm literally going to stick it on my card for the front cover, and that's what it's going to look like. And how nice is that? Well, pretty nice actually. So I'm going to use Collall. We're going paper to card, so Collall is my best option, I think. So I hope you guys have a go at a cover for yours. You do not need to make it shabby chic. You don't even really need to make a cover at all. It's just, I think if we do one of these tags, one a week, then I think it deserves to be in a little sort of booklet, really. And in case you missed it, next week's prompt for the tag is purple. You can do it any size you like. It does not have to be this large size, large sort of traveller's notebook size that I've chosen. It's really up to you what size you make it. The only thing is it must be tag shaped and it must be purple. Right, so let's just slide this onto here. Make sure we've got it right. Sometimes easier to see from the back actually where you are with it all. Good thing about Collall is it just allows you that little minute of time to kind of move it around a bit and get it exactly where you want it. So that's lovely. So there we have it. The only thing left to do is to put our holes in, so we can actually add it onto the ring binder. So this is the one that I've done. I've got my holes where I want them, and it would have been easier to do before I stuck this on, but not to worry, we can do it. So just need to get them same distance, top and bottom, like that. And in this case I'm going to make a pencil mark. It would have been better, as I say, if I'd thought to do this before I stuck the bit that we've made today onto it, but I didn't. So just going to do that, punch those out, and then we've got the start of our ring bound journal. Oh, good job, I've got a big crocodile because it's quite stiff. There we go. Whoopsie-daisy. And there we have it. When I eventually find or buy some more reinforcements, I shall put them on there and they will go into my little book that's coming along. It's only got one tag in it at the moment, but I'll put the rings on it, close them up, and there we have it. There's our cover. Let's open it up. Oh yes, there's a tag. Now the obvious thing that needs sorting here is the back of this, but I'll do that tomorrow, and it'll be relatively plain, otherwise the cover's going to be stupidly thick. So we need to do the inside of that, the inside of the back as well, which is here, and the outside of the back. Now I tend to always keep the outside back cover of things that I do quite plain, because that's what it's sitting on, and if you make it too fancy it's just going to get scuffed. So there we have it, our lovely little tag book cover. So I'd really love to see what you make for your tag cover. tag book cover. So if you make one, whatever it's like, please post the pictures in the Miss Paint A Lot Junk Journal group. We'd love to see them. I really would love to see them, see what you come up with. So there we have it. I've got 2 because I tend to on a Sunday make a practice tag, and then I make the real one with you in the afternoon. So I've got 2 tag books on the go. The stickers from Karen are just lovely. They just set it off beautifully. And I'm pleased with those. They've turned out quite pretty. So thanks for joining me. As I say, please post your pictures of your covers in the Miss Paint A Lot's Junk Journal group. And failing that, I'll see you really, really soon when we'll do the back of the front covers. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye.